The number one way to get your offer accepted on a house. The best way to get your offer accepted on a house is by using a real estate love letter. A real estate love letter is an emotional, personalized sales pitch that will help you stand out from all the other offers on the table. It's important not to go in cold and simply making generic statements about how much you like their house or why you're interested in it. Take some time to prepare a genuine letter that talks about what this home means for your family and why it would be perfect for them too. Why is a real estate love letter important for getting your offer accepted on a house? A real estate love letter is important for getting your offer accepted on a house because it gives you an emotional connection with the seller. It's best to personalize your real estate love letter and share what this home means to you. When writing a genuine real estate love letter, use phrases like, "I know that Jane would absolutely adore her new backyard," or, "When I walk in my front door at night after work, all the stress of the day melts away." The more specific and heartfelt details about how perfect their property is will make it easier for your offer to stand out from among the others. The purposes of the letter is to make your offer stand out from all the others on the table. The love letter is written by the prospective buyer to convince the seller that their offer is the one. It's also a letter of interest to show the seller that they are serious and sincerely want their house. The goal of the real estate love letter is twofold. It gives you an edge in winning over the sellers, and it offers potential homeowners insight into who is buying their house. When you begin to have the mindset of submitting a letter that will help you stand out from the crowd, you should start to think about how you can connect with the sellers. You will need to know the reasons why you are a good fit for that particular property and how it might be beneficial for them as well. The sentiment behind this letter should center around love, loving their house, loving the location, loving where they live. This can make all the difference when trying to convey an emotional connection between the seller, who many times have no idea who is making offers on their house. Sales letters work by focusing on something called NLP, which stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. The goal of this technique is to have the reader develop a connection with you and your offer based on emotions rather than logic or facts. It's important that the letter is focused with detailed points as well, so it will be beneficial if you make sure to identify what those points are before writing any content or drafting out the letter structure in order to keep focused on the key selling points while maintaining an emotional tone. You should include information about yourself, where you've lived, about your family, why you're looking for a house. This helps create more rapport between them and just might get your offer accepted by making them feel like they know what experiences you've had in your life. One of the first things you should do is list all the features of the house. Then you can take the features and create language that makes them into specific benefits. Next, you should try to find out all the information you can about the sellers. This will help you understand who they are and what their motivations might be. Sometimes you can learn this just by seeing their things when you viewed their house. Other times, with a simple search on the internet, you might be able to find things they've been involved with in the community. You also may be able to find more information about them from their social media profiles. This is not about being a creepy stalker, but this is finding information that they have made public on the internet. Your real estate agent may be able to gather some information about the sellers also. The more information you have, the more you can craft a love letter just for them. You could also try to understand why they're selling their house in order to show your empathy with them. You can do this by asking questions or making simple observations that will help you understand what's going on in their lives right now, whether it might be a job change or just moving away across town. These reasons can impact how you write your love letter. Generally speaking, people are much more likely to trust someone who has been through something similar rather than a random stranger. And when it comes time to close the sale on an offer, many times somebody like yourself is chosen because of that common ground shared between the seller and buyer. Items that you should conclude with in your real estate love letter is your appreciation for the seller's time and consideration when reviewing your offer. an explanation of how the home will fit into your future plans. Once you have the requirements for your letter and a rough draft created, it's important to think about who will be reading this. With that in mind, here are some tips on how you can make sure and get their attention. Be personal. Keep in mind your reader is not just any one person, but an individual with emotions, so let them know what they're walking into. Provide reasons. Give as many details as possible when describing how awesome the property is. You should mention everything from location and parking areas to schools nearby, even if you don't have kids just yet. Tell the truth. It's important that your letter is sincere and doesn't come off as sneaky or deceitful. Some common mistakes to avoid when making your real estate love letter are having unclear or general information. It's important to specify the benefits rather than the features and how they will help your family in your everyday lives. Failing to provide a reason for your love letter. In order for it to be successful, you'll need some type of story or value behind what you're selling in addition to the information about the property itself. Being too formal. Avoid being stiff by sending something with general information, focusing solely on the features. Remember, sellers want someone who will take care of their home, so show off how much you know about taking care of properties with examples from your own life. Not including your pets. Include information about your pets in the letter to build the bond even more if you notice that they are pet lovers. If you notice they have had pets in the home, include information about your pets as well. Being too forward. Be respectful and don't try to buy someone's house by being overly pushy with them. You're much better off giving your love letter personal touches, like making sure they know why you want their property so badly. Making the letter too long. Keep your letter short and sweet and don't get too wordy. In most cases, it shouldn't be over 1 page long. Trying to be funny. Stick with what you know best when it comes to humor, because a bad joke can turn the seller off faster than anything. As you can see, a real estate love letter is an effective way to get your offer accepted on a house. It has the power to persuade and convince buyers that they should buy your property over all the others through gentle persuasion and sincere words. One of the most important things is to be personal and honest about who you are, what you want from a home, and why it's worth buying. Be sure not to write anything that could come off as creepy or stalker-like. There are many factors that go into crafting this kind of love letter, and it can be tricky at times because there isn't one right answer for every situation. However, the previous information should give you an idea of what is typically included in a successful real estate love letter. If you found this information helpful, please click the like button and subscribe, and check our links out in the description below.